Spring is on its way, but it's still very, very cold. We can't actually do too much on the finishing side, but what we can do is start planning what we're going to be, what we are, well, we can start planning what we are going to be doing, and this is one of it now. I mean, look at it. Tremendous. Beautiful machine. Very, very big. Very, very big. This is probably one of the biggest projects I've ever taken on. And there is some progress. These are the vents for engine cooling, getting air into the boat, and this one will specifically be used for the battery bay, and they are identical to these vents here, which I've got. I have all the vents, but we still need to get on the outside and clean this up. Right, let's get inside. On the last video we was looking through the bottom of the bilge, basically going towards the front section of the boat. We had a look inside the water tank. I've ordered some acid for that tank because I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced about the construction of the tank. When I looked at it, I'm assuming it's aluminium, but the outside sternal tank is stainless steel. It does look like there's some sort of liner in there, so at some point that whole top of that tank has got to come off. So today, as I said last time, we're looking further back. This section here, I was going to use it and bring the heating in here and duct round, but I've changed my mind on that completely because I'm thinking I've got so much areas around the boat where I can take heating duct in. There's no need. So once this board is veneered, it's going to go into place, and that's basically going to stay there. And then the steps, when they're ready, the last thing to do are all these steps, they'll be polished and done as well. So you'll see through it. So it just become another useful space on the boat. Right, so that's that one. The next one is going to be the shutter. Now the shutter itself, if we look at it, that's had a veneer on it at some point, and obviously we can't do anything with that. It's got to be veneered. I'm very lucky with that. It's a bit like doing a tinted window, which we will be doing on this boat. We will be doing tinted windows. I'm going to use my little roller, which is just basically what I use is a masking tape. It's soft and does the job. Sand that, and we can put some varnish on that, and that will come up. You will be amazed what it comes up like. This one here, cut that down, and yeah, so at least it's all the right size. We'll look at this and then we're on to this. I think that's just the whole piece has got to come out when it's down there. So here we go. Okay, so our lights should go in that way, like that. There you go. That's good enough. Stick in position. You can sort of see now where we're going. It's coming together slowly. It's slowly coming together. I had a bit of an assortment of what we're going to be doing, and down here is a panel for the engine bay, which again we're going to do a little bit with today. Firstly, why I'm putting electrics in now, why I've started to put the electrics in now, or starting to, is because as a panel becomes ready, why not? You're moving on, and it'd be nice to have some little things working in the boat. It'd be nice to have maybe some USBs working somewhere, or switches or something working for the first time in 10 years. That would be another plus. If I can step into the tank now, we'll go just there. And then either side of this board will be your engine isolators, just here and here. So we want to bring this out to about there. Okay, so that's a board we need to cut, and then we're going to need to bolt on some mounts underneath. So, and then as before, once that board's in place, we'll have our connectors, our copexes coming from here along up into the helm panel, the helm panel up to the console. Then our main panel power will probably come into here, and then out to our engine, probably a bit lower with our sensors. So that's how that's going to work. Obviously you're going to need more power down there for other things, like the heating system will be down there, but that's a separate panel altogether. That runs entirely off the leisure battery side. Try and keep the place nice and clean. So, right, that's up. We need that bump one in, that's for our steps. Okay. Yeah, if you ever wondered about these boards are getting veneered, so I'm not worried about the odd scratch on them at the moment. It was just that the boards are so rotten, they had to be replaced. So, I'll definitely get in there. Right, let's go. Back down again. Right, so where are we? That bit behind me is a base coat, it's just drying, so obviously at some point I'm going to put a shine, just give it a quick sand and put something a bit shiny on there, so when you actually look into the service cupboard or service bay, it looks quite clean and tidy, but we'll have a look at that later on. I've just found the original ones for these. This one at the back eludes me a little bit. I've still got 3 more, so I've probably got one in the wrong place somewhere else. 4 more actually. Really lovely solid lumps of wood these. And so get the floors back down when we're heading outside and have a look where the vents are. And see if we can see what this horrible plasticky stuff is. That'll be our first job outside, I do believe, is you. This is where the grills go. We'll now head outside and look at the outside section. Plasticky, I don't know what it is, but we're going to have a go at getting this off while we can today. And eventually what goes on here is these. I have 4 more to go in, but we won't do that today, but we will get this plastic off already, leaving the wood in place. I mean, it's just awful, whatever it is. Still like a lacquer on it. No. It's on both sides. Right, let's crack on. Heat gun. Tape. You know. Oh, I don't know. Right, I'm going to bring you back. Maybe. These are bits and pieces I've taken off, and I've purposely kept the corners and stuff, and because of their odd shapes. So for example, this one here goes here, and this one here is the end piece, I do believe. That's the end piece. No, that's not the end piece. That's going to be, that's that piece down. No, it's not. Let me think. It's a jigsaw. It's that piece in the corner. Right, so basically I can use these. This piece here, for example, we know goes here. So I can pretty much draw around these and cut them almost straight away. And they're ready for treating and water sealing and pinning in. Wider, so if I went 50, I'd cut them all the same. 100, just like that, that will do us. Tacked it onto the board. Now I'm just going to draw around that. I've all done that little line there, and cut that out. And hopefully we're not going to be too far off. The rest of it of sanding. Now I've got to go and put all this down. I'll cut this and we'll do a first time and we'll whack it in and we'll see what happens. Okay, there we go. Let's have a look what we've got. First time. Now hopefully it will fit in very easily. We want a bit of play. There you go. Okay, that's good enough. I'm just going to go down. Just keep it just here. It's just here. It bows out and then bows in. It's completely irregular shape. So hopefully if I cut to this all the way through, then this piece here and the front will fit. Well, that's the plan anyway. I'm now on one of the biggest panels, so I've just basically cut the basic shape, and it's literally something like this. You just have to, it's millimeters at a time, because I've got a curve coming through this side, a curve, an angle here on the port window, a slight angle here, and obviously I've got the door frame to deal with, and I will have, this board isn't quite wide enough, so a piece will have to go in just here, but that doesn't matter because that's where your rail will be and you're going to be putting something else there anyway. So yeah, so it's literally now board on, board off, shape, board on, board off, shape, and then eventually we do a cut on this end here. So all I'm doing now is just taking off literally a few mil at a time all the way around this board until this board fits exactly on here, and then we're on to the easier ones, which is the front panels and the side panels and the trims at the top, which is a lot straighter, but it still bends. You've still got a couple of bends. Yeah, okay, we're getting there, we're getting there. Okay, see what we've got. That's in there. Put the boxes in on the back, that way round. Do you know, we're not too far out. That could do a little bit off the top there. And this one. Well, you know what? That's not bad. That's not bad at all. We're on the flush edge, we're oversized here, how we want to be. Yeah, I'm just going to give a little light sand around these, and this panel is actually done. It's looking so much better. Okay, let's tidy up. get the battery compartment sealed. You know, weather bonding, put another one on in a week or two's time, or whenever, when it dries. And yeah, we can put batteries in there. Right, let's get it on.